In the last episode of Son-in-Law of Discord, chapter, Rothwell finds out that his mother, Chrysalis, had another heir to the throne. Let's continue on. Chapter 5, The Lost Heir. Okay, I'll admit it. The whole finding next heir premise was borrowed from Shrek the Third. Hey, another threequel. But I promise you it's not going to follow that plot in its entirety. I have a sister? Muffler asked in disbelief. Hey! Other female Chp5 present exclaimed. Sorry, I mean a royal sister? Yes. Chris sighed. She stared up at the black canopy. Bellatrix. Now that girl had spunk, something every queen should have. She would always go on and on about what she would do when she was queen, and would practice her magic whenever possible. Unfortunately, she didn't have the power you had, my son. When you were 12, you could turn into a fly. When she was 12, she couldn't even turn into an earth filly. Screwball looked at Mothra questioningly. It's harder than other pony forms, because you have to hide your wings and horn, he explained. She couldn't even control minds like you, Chrysalis continued. You have mind control powers? Screwball inquired. It's not like I ever use it, Mothra murmured. Exactly, Chrysalis exclaimed. That was always the problem with you, Mothball. You have so much power, yet refuse to use it. It was the opposite with Bellatrix. She would show off her power all the time. Not that there was much to show off. She also wasn't very clever, and would have a hard time getting food because she couldn't make ponies love her enough. She groaned. Couldn't blame them. There wasn't much love. I suppose she got that quality from her father. Whoever it was. Screwball raised an eyebrow. Chrysalis rolled her eyes in response. I was very active at the time. So what happened to Princess Not Lovable? The chaotic pony asked. When she was 18, she had made little improvement, so I decided to give her a challenge. I thought some time outside of the hive would build up her strength, so I banished her for 5 years. Screwball snorted. Well, aren't you Mother of the Year? But that was before I was born, right? Mother questioned. Why didn't she come back? Oh, she did, Chrysalis replied. You had just been born, actually. Frankly, your sister became jealous of you. Also, her time in the outside world had apparently made her weaker. She would stop talking about friendship and how there were more important things than power. So she left again, this time on her own accord. Since I had you to replace her, I thought nothing of it then. So where's this Bellatrix now? Asked Screwball. The queen shrugged. Don't know. Haven't seen or heard from her in 10 years. She could be dead for all I know. 10 years? Mothball said. But I thought you said she came back when I was born. Oh, she came back again to ask a favor. But I was 12 then. I would have seen her. You would have. But you were otherwise. She darted her eyes at Screwball. Occupied. The chaotic pony shrugged. What are the odds? That was the last time I saw her. She could be anywhere now, using a different name, a different body. So say this Princess Bellatrix is still out there, Screwball said. Do you think she'd be ever taking the throne instead of Mothball? Chrysalis gazed back up and thought. Our last meeting wasn't very pleasant, but she'd certainly want the throne more than you, son. Still, I think she'd make a poor ruler, but at least she's not as much a goody-goody as you. However, even if she's alive, you'd have a hard time finding her, even with your changing nostrils. She's right, Malcolm nodded. Finding a disguised-changing princess in the question would be like finding a needle in a haystack. But if we do find her, said Screwball, and she does agree to take the throne, then Mothball's off the hook, right? Whatever, Chrysalis groaned. The changes need a ruler, no matter who it is. Of course, you'll have to find her quickly. Why? Mothball asked. Because I'm dying, you imbecile! The queen boomed, sitting up. I have to give the royal blessing. The title is not official until I do. She coughed as she lay back down. General Mance was immediately at her side. Take it easy, my queen, she whispered. Great! Scribble exclaimed, turned to her fiancé. So we just had to find this Bellatrix, demand that she takes the throne, and we can get married with no strings attached. But how are we going to do that? Mother questioned. She could be anywhere. I have no idea. Ooh, Lieutenant Bumpus piped. Maybe we can find a clue in her room. Bumpus! Mantis bellowed. No, General, Chrysis moaned. He's right. But my queen, you forbade. I know what I forbade! But I'm at death's door, General. Show them to Bellatrix's room. The General sighed. Lieutenant, escort the prince and his, he grunted, fiancée to the prince's chamber. Bumpus saluted and gestured for the couple to follow him. Screwball took multiple hoof. We'll find your sister, she whispered, and all this will be over. Chrysis said she watched him leave. Do you remind me so much? She whispered. Remind you of what, Your Majesty? Majesty inquired. So much. So much. You should rest, my queen, the general said, setting her head down. You've been through a lot. Before she drifted off to sleep, one word escaped her lips. Discord. It was Chris's 12th birthday, and she was out on her first hunt. She was flying over the lifeless trees as she scanned the ground. So far, she hadn't had much luck in finding prey, as not many creatures dwell within the changing forest, for obvious reasons. Then she spotted a brown speck in the ground and slowly floated down to find that it was a strange creature the size of a small pony, but it didn't look like one. It had the gray head of a pony with a black mane groping down its neck and a white mop at the top, but the rest of its long, brown body was made up of many different types of animals. Curious, Chrysis perched herself on a branch and watched the strange little beast. It was staring at its reflection in a puddle. The sadness in its face made her heart swell in sympathy. Poor little guy. She took the thought out of her head. She was on a hunt. It was her job to feed off other creatures' emotions. Her mother, Queen Arachne, had told her not to return until she had gained enough power to feed an army. So she used the spell her mother had taught her to peer into the creature's heart and see who it loved. His love was the strongest emotion for a change to feed on. Her eyes widened in surprise at what she saw. Nothing. There was no one the creature loved. She was so stunned that she didn't hear the branch crack, but the creature did. It jumped up and searched from left to right. Who's there? It called in a male teenage voice. Chrysis gasped when a baseball bat appeared out of nowhere. She stepped forward to see if her eyes were deceiving her, but putting her weight on the branch made it snap. She let out a shriek as she plummeted to the ground. She groaned in pain as she opened her eyes. They were met with a pair of yellow ones with red pupils. She yelped at the fact that she had been caught and quickly changed form. It was too late, though. He had already seen her. When she turned back at his request, he was surprisingly unafraid. The creature was a chronicles named Discord, and he interested the young changing princess. He was so strange, and the fact that there was no one he loved intrigued her. She became even more impressed when she realized he had powers beyond belief. And though she was reluctant to admit it, he was sort of cute, in a chaotic way. When she heard he didn't have a place to stay, she had the strangest feeling that it was her duty to help him. Maybe it was because he had said he was all alone in the world. Despite the fact that she was his princess with 1,000 half-siblings, Chrysis sometimes felt that way too. She rarely left the hive, and her mother didn't want her playing with the other changing children, as she was above them. But this young creature was just as powerful as she was, maybe even more. Perhaps that fact would make her mother allow her to keep him as a playmate? Or at least a pet. Either way, she asked him to come back to the hive with her. Why? He questioned. Chrysis wasn't sure why, but she wanted help Discord, to learn more about him. She shrugged. That's what fans do? He stared in disbelief. Her friends? She held out her hoof. Sure, why not? She really had no better explanation, and the thought made her smile. He looked at her hoof with uncertainty. Come on, she urged. Would I steer you wrong? He stared at her for another minute before slowly taking her hoof. I really don't know the answer to that, but I've got no other option. Chrysis giggled like a kitty goofily as she dragged him to the hive. The guards at the entrance raised their eyebrows as the princess walked through with the strange creature, but she didn't pay them any heed. Mother! Mother! She called. Look what I found! A toad changeling resembling Chrysis, but with green hair, was conversing with one of her lieutenants. Her head turned at the sound of her daughter's voice. She hissed when she caught sight of Discord. What is that? Whoa! Discord uttered. He gazed up at the changing queen. You're tall. You're like one of those dead trees out there. The queen growled as her hung glow green. Why, you little... Mother, wait! Chris exclaimed, standing between them. He's a friend. Queen Arachne's horn dimmed as she looked questioningly at her daughter. Friend? Yeah, his name is Discord. He's a Draconi, whatever. I found him out in the forest. Anyway, he needs a place to stay, so I brought him here. Her mother blinked confusion and then scowled. Chrysalis, I sent you out there to hunt, not to make friends. Please, 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 Mother, can we keep him? I promise he'll make himself useful. Disco, short that trick of yours. Neonjo clunked smiled and snapped his talons. Arachne gasped when a small pink cloud appeared and started pouring brown rain. How? Then her lips curved to an evil grin. Oh, I see. He's too powerful for you to consume on your own, so you brought him back so we can all have a snack. What? No, Mother, Chrysalis insisted. I didn't bring him for you to drain. Besides, even if I did, it would be impossible because he doesn't love anybody. Arachne's smile finished and she squinted at Discord. After a few seconds, her eyes widened. She looked sternly at her daughter. Dearest, she spoke in a low voice, might I speak with you in private? Chrysalis put her hooves behind her back nervously. It was never good when her mother spoke in that tone. Yes, Mother, she murmured. The Queen turned to her lieutenant. Make sure that Dane doesn't cause any trouble. The lieutenant slowly went to Discord's side. I'll be right back, Chrysalis whispered to him before following her mother to the tower. As Arachne shut the door, she turned coldly toward her daughter. That thing can't stay here. But Mother, Chrysalis started to protest. The Queen held up her hoof. No, he has no emotion for us to feed on. What good is his power if we have no way to consume it? Maybe we don't need its power. Can't we just keep him the way he is? He has no place to go. Arachne arched an eyebrow. Why are you so concerned for this creature? Well, the princess looked down at her host and blushed. I think he kind of likes me. Her mother huffed. Likes you? In this form? Darling, you know as well as I do that no one can love a changeling. At least while undisguised. But he didn't run when he saw me. That doesn't mean he likes you. He's a monster himself, so it's no surprise that he had little fear. But he could... Chrysalis! Arachne exclaimed, stamping her hoof firmly on the floor. I've seen his heart. It's as empty as a bottomless pit, with no love to give you or anyone else. Chrysalis sniffed as tears formed in her eyes. But... Oh, Chrissy, Arachne whispered as she lifted her daughter's chin. You're too young to comprehend. If you're going to be queen one day, there's one thing you must remember. Love is a weakness. The princess tilted her head. But don't we gain power from love? Exactly. It's weakness to show whoever feels it, but strength to those who can take advantage of it, like us. But for us to feel love will only lead to our destruction. Take you and this creature, for instance. If this liking you have for him becomes anything more, you will never be able to drain him of his power. But you say he does. There are other ways. The Queen released her daughter and began pacing the room. Even if we can't drain his power, we can still use it to our advantage. You said this creature was looking for a home, yes? Chrysalis nodded. He's the last of his kind. Yes, Arachne murmured, rubbing her chin. It just might work. What might work, Mother? You know that new land just over the mountains? That place has a very special kind of magic that I've been dying to get my hooves on. But that same magic protects it. She chuckled to herself.